Somebody asked me this the moment I clock in. What do I do? That's what I'm gonna tell you now. Alright, here we go. I'm going home. The moment I clock in, I'd go to my patient's room and then talk to the overnight shift nurse. Endorsements will give me updates about my patient. I'll ask some questions. After the endorsements, I would clean all the equipment, all the surfaces, and after cleaning all that, initial assessments. Here's the thing, most of the nurses already adapted this. We have everything on the wall, logs for seizures, the schedule of all his medication, the schedule of all his feeding. The mom decided to have them all printed out so we don't have to write them anymore. Everything is on there. Upon doing all the initial assessments, I would record them on the wall. Then I would prepare all the medications because my shift starts at 7. I have to give medications by 8, seizure meds, and I don't need to tell that. If my patient's still sleeping, just like earlier, I would give all the medication. It's on a vent at night. Once he wakes up, I would do all the morning care. That includes the break care and the G-tube care, and practically just do everything that's on his plan of care. Our patients usually have their bath at night. In the morning, we just give him a sponge bath and change his clothing. This is all my routine, but almost the same with other patients, except for those patients who need to go to school. Aside from the medications, we also give feeding via G-tube. We needed a feeding pump. I've used an infinity pump, also a kangaroo pump. In my other video, I've shared everything that a home care nurse uses throughout the shift, or everything that a home care nurse may use throughout the shift. I've also shared other informations on the video called Home Care Pros and Cons. You can check them all out. Throughout the day, there are specific schedules for medicines and, like I said earlier, feeding and also flushes. Other than appointments with a physical therapist, occupational therapist, revision, or play therapy, the session usually lasts for an hour. With some therapists, nurses don't have to stay in the room. With other therapists, that's okay. In my experience, all of the therapists I've encountered would rather have me in the room. Other things that you may do during the 12-hour shift is put the patient in a stander. If he has one, put him in a chair. Some of the patients that I know shouldn't stay there for more than 2 hours. Oh, I forgot. The moment my patient wakes up, I would take him off the vent and put an HME on his trach. Check his end tidal, his saturation, heart rate, RR, and that's it. He's ready for the day. Earlier, I put him in a Grifton chair for 2 hours during one of his feeding. The father asked me if I could take the patient out. He took the carriage in. I put my patient in the carriage. We walked the neighborhood and went to the park. Just 30 minutes, I think, and the father called me and told me that I should get back. I went back in the house with my patient. No other information. I'm trying really hard to be careful because of HIPAA, if you know that, but trying to be helpful for you too. Well, once we came back home, since today is Shabbos, just one thing you should know about Lakewood. I was told that this town was created by Jewish people, so my patients are all Jewish. Today is Shabbos, it's Friday. Everyone in the community usually prepare for Shabbos. Before the sun would go down, they would cook, they would clean the house, do everything that they needed to do, because once it's Shabbos, everyone has to rest. And there are more informations about that I don't need to cover in this video, but what I can tell you is, since it's Shabbos today, one of my tasks is to help the mom bath my patient, because everyone has to go to bath before Shabbos. This is supposed to be done during the night shift. This is what I did before during the night shift. The moment I would clock in, I would prepare the meds, just like what I did earlier. And either before giving the meds or after giving the meds, we would give the patient a bath. And then after that, we would do the trach care, and we would change the ties, trach ties, with the mom or the dad, depending on who's available, and do the G-tube care. Sometimes if there are granuloma, the doctor would have an order for that, and we would give some medication for that after the trach care. And again, because it's Shabbos, I had to do all that earlier. I did the morning care and also did the night care today, because it's okay. I actually just had 7,557 steps today. Not much activity. I would sometimes get 10,000 steps or more, honestly. And if you're one of the nurses who goes to school with the patient, you would really have more, even 15,000 steps, I believe. I did that before. I would go to the school with my patient, and once I clock in, that's also what I do. I would prepare his medication. If the overnight nurse hadn't prepared that yet, I would prepare that, and then make sure that all the equipments that I needed is all packed in the carriage. For school, we bring a suction machine, a BiPAP. My patient wasn't on trach, but he's on O2 all the time. I'd also bring O2 tank, and there's one extra in the school, I believe, and you should have it there. These kids with special needs, what they have at home, usually they also have them in school if they go to school. Rift and chair in school, a standard. I also bring some change of clothes, extra diapers. As a home care nurse, you also change their patients' diapers. But you would also bring their meds if they need to nebulize, bring their nebulizer. There's a small one, a portable one. It's really cute. And that's it. Once all of that's prepared, I would go out of the house with my patient, wait for the bus. It's a special kind of bus. So all the patients who are supposed to be in a rift and chair or in a carriage or in a wheelchair could go in. After we hop on the bus, we hop off the bus for school. And in school, the students, they will also have therapy sessions, a physical therapy session for about an hour. They also have vision therapy there, everything that would help with their development. And we would go home, we would bath the patient in the tub, and he has to have a nasal cannula with him when we put him in the tub. We would have to carry the O2 tank with you all the time. Before I clocked out earlier, I cleaned again. And if there are other requests from the parents, like carry the patient outside or in the living room, we would just help them. If they needed suction, you can either stay with them or stay in the room. It depends on them, whether they will just need you for a suction or something else. And then through that 12-hour shift, you should have enough time to document everything that you're doing or did. Unless it's really toxic, that you have to do some extra management. That's also in the plan of care. Sometimes nurses had to stay a couple of minutes in the patient's home after they clock out because they still need to document, and then later on submit the documentation. Most of the time, I have enough time to finish all my documentation by the end of my shift. And then once I clock out, I get back in the car and drive home. That's it. I hope that's enough information.